Injuries, Ronnie Harrison hurt his knee there. We'll see what that is. We'll get an MRI on that, and I'll have an update for you tomorrow. Other than that, came out of that thing healthy otherwise. Nice team win. I really thought the defense set the tempo in that game. 3 takeaways, scoring on defense, 5 sacks, OV having 3 of them. I thought Denzel Ward was outstanding, 4 PBUs and a pick himself. The guys were flying around. I thought they did a great job. Really proud of those guys. Offensively, hard yards, and that's what it called for today. And I thought the guys, by and large, were pretty good. Wasn't clean, not going to be. On special teams, I thought the guys did a good job. I thought Jamie was really good today. We played the field position battle when necessary, made all our kicks. Well, I guess we had 1 blocked. But bottom line is the guys did a great job. There's no such thing as an ugly win. That was a beautiful win for the guys, and then we just got to get ready, right back on it this week. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Coach. First question is going to go to Jake Trotter.
Yeah, Kevin, what's your takeaway with the way your defense played, especially without Myles Garrett? Gave up some yards at times, but really delivered the critical plays in this game.
Yeah, really proud of those guys. We talked all week. You lose a guy of Myles' caliber, you're not going to replace him. You need guys to step up, and it's a committee approach. And I thought the guys really played hard. I thought Porter Gustin gave us some great rushes. I thought Adrian Claiborne did the same, and I mentioned OV before. So really proud of those guys.
Thank you, Jake. Jeff Shadell, you're up next.
Hey, Kevin, you had 18 yards rushing in the first half. I know, of course, you had that big long one by Nick, but what was the difference in the way you ran the ball so much better the second half?
Happy birthday, Jeff. I think, the guys stuck with it. We were searching for the right personnel group, searching for the right scheme versus them. That is a good run team. They played downhill into their gaps. We knew it was not going to be easy. They come off the ball. So we kind of were poking around, looking for the right run scheme for our guys. I think we kind of unlocked it a little bit there at the end, and we're able to get, again, some hard yards. Not going to be easy versus that front.
Thanks, Jeff. To Mary Kay Cabot next. Excuse me.
Yeah, can you guys really kind of challenged and called on your defenders to step up and make big plays without Myles? Maybe just even starting with Sione's pick 6. Can you talk about how they really did that?
Yeah, I will start with Sione, Mary Kay. Thank you for reminding me, because he was a game captain today. And the reason for that is he's as tough as they come. He plays through injuries, and he just does his job. He plays his role. He plays it hard. He brings a physicality to our team. And then to see him make a play on the ball and go score was incredible. I mean, just so proud of him. So to see our defense get their hands on the ball and balls so often is a big deal. And again, we knew we were going to have to go make those type of game-changing plays, and they showed up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Nate Ulrich, you have our next question.
Hey, Kevin, on the scoring drive that you guys put together there, what did you see on both of those runs? The long Nick Chubb one, how impressive was that stiff arm? And then what are you thinking when Kareem Hunt takes off from the 5 there, like Air Jordan?
Yeah, that was those two guys are pretty impressive. Nick runs hard. When it's not there, he's still churning those legs. And when you get him into the secondary, he's a hard dude to bring down. And then to see Kareem, like you said, take off from the 5, I mean, nothing was stopping him from getting in the end zone. Really, those guys push each other. We've talked about before. They push each other. They root for each other. And it's a sight to be seen.
Thank you, Nate. To Scott Petrick.
Hey, Kevin, what were the conditions like, especially compared to the last 2 weeks?
Much more moisture in this one. The wind was not a factor, but it was wet. And that ball, especially, if it was sitting out there for a little while and the umpire wasn't standing on it, it was slick. So, Baker fought through it. The center obviously fought through it. But there were moments where that ball was very slick. But, the wind was not a factor.
Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. Fred Greetham, you're up next.
Yeah, Coach. You talked a little bit, but how much Olivier Vernon, you've been waiting for him to have a breakout game, and he did. He not only did he have the sacks, but he had a couple tackle for losses down there inside the 5.
Yeah, with Miles out, we're counting on those guys to step up. And OV, he did it today, and he was defeating his blockers in the run game, like you mentioned. He was getting to the quarterback. We're counting on him. I've told him that. He knows that. And we're counting on him to continue to affect the passer in the pass game and make big plays in the run game.
Next, we'll go to Doug Lesmerises.
Kevin, you mentioned in the first half working it out with the run game a little bit. In the first half of a game, even if you guys aren't really popping anything in the run game yet, what do you maybe get out of that? Whether you're trying to maybe wear a defense down or you're looking for things, what might work later in the game? Are you gathering intel during times like that?
Yeah, Doug, I think you are gathering intel regardless of run, pass. I mean, there's so many formations where it may be a pass, but we're looking at the formation to see if the run is there and vice versa. So we're trying to have that constant communication throughout the game. I think AVP, Bill Callahan, the entire offensive staff does a great job of having that communication, because when you do run into a front like that and you're trying a couple different schemes, you're trying a couple different personnel groupings and it's not working, you're just constantly looking for, what is the answer? And we found it a few times there in the end. And then ultimately, I think that's a really good run defense. I think they pin their ears back, they defeat blocks, they come off the ball. So with that coupled with the conditions, it was going to be tough sledding, and it was.
Thanks.
Jake Trotter, you're up again.
Yeah, Kevin, this is the second game, and certainly not. There's been many others this year when you've had Nick and Kareem together, where you just wear down the defense in the fourth quarter. How much of that is those two guys playing together, where you can really begin to oppose your will late in games on the ground?
Yeah, I think, Jake, it just speaks to, we really want to have that lead in the fourth. I think every team does. But if we can get that lead in the fourth, then we can throw Nick out there, throw Kareem out there. It's a really good 1-2 punch that's hard to defend. But we're trying to get into that 4-minute offense so that we can really impose our will. And I think that's really where our offensive line wants to be. You talk to that offensive line, one of their favorite moments is when they know they're in a 4-minute and the other team knows we're running it. And that's the type of game they want to play in.
Time for 3 more quick ones. Scott Petrick, Nate Ulrich, Mary Kay Cabot. Scott, go ahead.
Hey, Kevin, you talked about your run offense making adjustments. What about the run defense? It looked like Sanders had some big runs early, and then you guys kind of shut him down. What changed?
Yeah, again, just listening to Joe and the defensive staff talk and making adjustments and moving the front at times, changing the coverage at times, using some run blitzes. It's just you got to always be talking throughout the game, trying to figure out what the answer is. And then sometimes they're going to break through on one, and you just got to tackle. And I think for the most part, I thought our tackling was pretty good today.
Thanks.
Nate Ulrich, I'll go to you.
Hey, Kevin, in hindsight, with the Eagles moving the ball so well on their first possession, how crucial was Jordan Elliott kind of setting the tone there with that takeaway to obviously change the dynamic of the game early?
Yeah, that was a big deal. This offense that we faced today, they have different ways that they can beat you, and they're an outstanding red zone football team, outstanding red zone offense and defense. But when they got down there, we were looking to make a play, and there's those moments, there's those drives where people move the ball on us. But if we can get a stop, if we can get a turnover in those moments, it's so huge to the outcome of the game.
Thank you, Nate. Last question goes to Mary Kay Cabot.
Yeah, Coach, can you explain a little bit about, why Nick Chubb wasn't on that, that first goal line stand where Kareem just couldn't get in? Was that the time he was in the tent with the contact thing?
I think so. Yeah, I think so, Mary Kay, but I will say this, I trust Kareem down there and felt good about what we did.
And so do you think it just almost seemed like when he came back and had that chance again to score on the hurdling touchdown, he just seemed like he was not about to be denied that time?
He really wasn't. And, the guys got out on the perimeter. Wyatt had a big block. And then Kareem, like you said, he had a nose for the end zone, and he would not be denied.